It's very grubby. Grubby grubstons. Check 1, 2. Not that I can check it. Check it to wreck it. Well, this is all very nostalgic, isn't it? We haven't been here for a while. Anyway, enough about here. So this video is all about the R1250 BMW GSA R1250 Adventure. Because, sadly, it is time to say farewell to this beautiful machine, because it's time to give it back to BMW after, can you believe it, almost a year of its use. Now, it's been a bit of a strange year, as I think most of you will agree, so sadly I haven't had much time to do any sort of big trips on this. We haven't really been allowed to because of various political reasons. So anyway, today I'm going to give you a rundown before it goes back about why I still believe this is one of the best bikes in the world, and let's roll it without further ado. There's a bird poo. Map update notice. Fucking updates. Service overdue. Fucking hell. Tank level reached. Nav detected. Ah! To be fair, that is probably, I mean, I'll get into this in a bit, but if I had to critique or criticise anything with this bike, it's that it's very naggy. But then I think all modern shit is getting a bit naggy, isn't it? Nagasaki. I don't know if I've chosen the wisest gloves here, but I thought they looked cool. And that's what motorcycling's about, isn't it, really? Looking cool. Right, ride to the next filling station. Okay. I haven't ridden a bike in fucking ages. Is this how we do it? What do we do? Right, gears down. Right, off we go. Right, so off we go. Oh, this beautiful December morning in the lanes around the Surrey-Hampshire borders. God, I haven't ridden in so long. And this morning, I'm sure all motorcyclists have experienced this when you haven't ridden in a while, and it's like, where's my kit? Where's my gloves? I don't want to wear those gloves. I want to wear these gloves. Where are they? I can only find one of them. And you go, babe, have you seen my fucking gloves anywhere? Yeah, they're on the table next to the back door. No, not those ones, the other ones. What? Well, then you get dressed and ready and go all the way outside and then realise you've left said gloves by the fucking back door. So where do we start then on this R1250 GS Adventure TE 40th anniversary spec? Well, in fact, let's start with the anniversary spec, because that isn't standard to the bike when you go and buy it. So that includes these mirrors, these little option 719, which I think is their internal code for expensive stuff. So that's the reservoir covers for the clutch and the brake fluid. Got the mirrors, got the rear sets, oh, and the levers as well. The only thing I will make a slight complaint about this kit is that the shift lever is very, very slippery, and the reason you buy this bike is sort of riding in the rain and just daily usage, really, and having a slippery nipple is not ideal. But otherwise, I think actually the colour way of this bike looks pretty good. I like the yellow handguards. I know it distresses a lot of you. I don't like the gold bar, but I think we discussed that in the original video of this bike. But then this bike particularly doesn't have the... Oh, I was going to stop here. Oh, it's my favourite spot. Thank you. But then this particular bike does not have the gold wheels either, which is a choice. You can either have gold or black. So I think with the gold wheels, it might make a little more sense. I actually feel like the tyre pressures are a little bit low. I feel we haven't got the direct response turn-in that I'm used to. Let's put it in suspension. We are in dynamic. We should be all right. Maybe it's the tyres. This isn't on the Bridgestones, which are by far, in my opinion, obviously, the better tyre. The Bridgestone A41s. So maybe they just need a bit of time to warm up, because it is pretty chilly. Well, it's 6 degrees, which isn't too bad. You'll also see I'm sporting my flap. This is not part of the bike. This is a Jeff Bezos Amazon special, all the way from Xinjiang province, at the princely sum of £17, which I bought for the Budget Bike Battle 4 R1. And to be fair, it's actually held up really bloody well. The screen doesn't like it though, because there's quite a lot of force going through. You can see it wobbling. I'm going to overtake this cyclist. He'll probably shout at me, but I'm a cyclist now anyway, so we're one, brother. We are one. But I'm an e-cyclist, so just everyone's fucking nightmare. So how has this bike been then? Obviously, we wanted to do a lot more tests with adventure bikes this year and do a lot more travelling, but it's been just an absolute shit fest. So it's been the bike that I've had to rely on to do specific tasks which I need. So it's been very utilitarian in that nature. It's not been used for leisure per se. It's been used to get the job done, and that is what this bike does. It gets the job done. For example, one of the trips I needed to do quite a lot of travelling around, so one weekend I had to go and do my ACU licence, which I did on this bike with fucking top box and shit. I think the sticker's still on the front from No Limits. That was to get my race licence, so I had to do a race start and a couple of laps of Mallory Park on this, which was brilliant. That was in March last year again, so I had semi-knobbly tyres on this. But again, the temperature, all these people turned up on slicks, and there was people crashing on their test. I mean, it's bonkers. But anyway, and so it looked quite funny, and the instructors had a good laugh. But to be fair, they were all like, do you know what, you're actually probably on the right bike for this day, because it was a bit like this actually. So I did the ACU test and then went off to do the first round of the free tech I had some ginormous panniers on this as well, which I think I've got a bit of footage from that, which I never made a video of, so I'll show you. Yeah, this is the the 40 years extender, and these panniers are massive. In here I've got my full leathers, my back protector, everything, and it is an absolute beast. But I had some ginormous panniers which had all my leathers in, all my just general stuff I needed for the long weekend, clothes, pants, socks, and I've just noticed that I don't have my fucking chin strap done up on my helmet. And yeah, it performed flawlessly. It was just, I just had to use it to get the job done. No other bike would have done that. And even, you know, we tested the Multistrada earlier this year, and I love that bike. I do love the new V4 Multistrada. It is it's a sports bike in this form, and it is brilliant. But I would question, on a long journey or the drizzly day, which one would be better. This bike always feels like it's just gonna go. It feels like it's gonna get you there, and it feels unstoppable. And that is why so many people around the world love this, and it is, I still think it's the most popular bike above 500cc. Is that correct? You can probably correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free to comment below. But you can see why. It's robust and unstoppable, and the 300-mile tank range I got out of one of these is also very impressive. We're just going to get some fuel here. Speaking of fuel, when we had the fuel crisis earlier this year, which lo and behold magically seems to have disappeared now, the fuel stocks have replenished with fuel that isn't going out of date like the E10 stuff. But anyway, it's almost as if it was planned. In the fuel crisis, this vehicle was the only vehicle. My girlfriend lives in Cambridge, and this was the only vehicle I had with a full tank of fuel that would actually get me there and back, which was about a 210-mile trip safely and securely. Like, I didn't have to think about it, I could just ride. So it did the job with that as well, and you know, it's buzzing along at 70. It'll do 50 miles to the gallon easy. So it's just, if you do go a little bit faster than that, maybe if you're on an autobahn or something, you're not going to get the gas mileage above 80 that you should get. It's very unaerodynamic, especially with the massive bricks which sit on the back. Right, this is keyless, I think. Yes, so I should just be able to open that. Yes, that's quite a nice feature. That's the only feature I do like about keyless. I don't want to put too much in it because I'm giving it back, and I'm tight. 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, and almost £1.50 a litre of bog stocker here, which is quite expensive. Get my pants in the back here. Thank you. Cheers. 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 Yeah, so these, so while we're here, we'll just do a quick walk around. So those are obviously the milled engine covers. It doesn't have the belt cover at the front. Is it called a belt cover? I think it is. Hand guards, mirrors, thingies, and yeah, snazzy little paint job. Tank level. I'm at the filling station. Thank you. Thanks, Mum. I don't understand what was wrong with just a little fuel light. And I guess that, you know, touching on the, well, not touching, there's a counter to the unstoppable feel that this bike has and has had for a long time. This, I will say, this latest incarnation is perhaps getting a bit too complicated for its own good, and I think that is the curse of many modern vehicles, not just motorcycles, that the technical complications, for whatever reason, it might be legal emissions, it might be, you know, XYZ, whatever, but the complications are getting pretty complicated. Right, we're going to get off the main road here and we're going to go down some back lanes. Oh, fucking indicator. Again, auto-cancelling indicator is very irritating, which I'll get onto. I could do a whole video on auto-cancelling indicators. The concept of a lot of this stuff is brilliant. Like, you know, tyre pressure monitors and all of this extra, traditionally non-motorcycle things. Forgive me if I'm going really slow, but it's so slippery down here. I know that with from experience. This is my cycling route, actually. I come down here, and in fact I had a tyre pressure warning. In fact, that time when I did go in the fuel crisis up to Cambridge on the motorway, it was pissing wet as well, horrible. And the sat nav's come alive. Apparently I'm going somewhere. I don't want to go anywhere. Oh. Yeah, it was piss wet and horrible, and then about halfway there on the M25 the whole screen went red, and it was like, oh, tyre pressure's lost loads of pressure, check. Oh my god. I was like, oh fuck's sake, this is the worst time to get a puncture on the M25 halfway between my home and my destination in Friday night traffic. And it was just anyway, I was devastated. I calmly considered my options. I thought, well, it doesn't feel that bad. I went into the dash and you can check the pressure on the dash, so it could well have been just like a sensor issue. And it didn't feel bad. I've ridden with a puncture before, and you can definitely tell. So basically I just decided to fucking ignore it, and went all the way another 80 miles to my destination, turned the bike off and on again, and it was fine. And that's a very good example of just how this tech sort of fucks with you when it doesn't need to, and it gives you a negative impression of the bike. And then another occasion, I was going out for a ride with Jen, and halfway along it just said, it came up with a warning and was like, you need to go to the service centre now, you know, for no particular reason. And it was like, well, what is that? Anyway, did exactly the same thing, rode on, turned it off and on, and it disappeared. But both of those things, they kind of cry wolf. And if you owned this bike for 3 years, which I think is the now current warranty term, over the course of that 3 years you'd probably get these erroneous messages quite often, and you will ignore them because you're used to it. But then that one time when you shouldn't ignore it could get you in a lot of trouble, not only safety wise but warranty wise. Oh well, you should have pulled over and ignored and, you know, dealt with it. So sensors and over intrusive tech on this are definitely detracting from the overall experience of this otherwise incredibly capable machine. Gammon. Oh, I forgot to put my fucking chin strap up. Fucking hell, I'll do that because this is pretty muddy and slippery. And this is a nice place to stop, just next to that pile of shit. I appreciate the quality of this probably isn't going to come out well, just because when you drive down these little narrow Nadgery lanes, or anything with trees basically, that is slightly better in winter than it is in summer, because the camera can only process so much data per frame, so the detail level per frame. So when you've got lots of detail, like leaves on trees or bushes and shit, your YouTube sort of just crushes it to a specific data level. So I apologise for that, but fuck you. Blame the internet. You can blame the internet for everything. And you know, if those little those little warning lights came on just before you were about to set off on a tour around Europe, someone less confident than myself, or perhaps someone that's just paid 22,000 quid for this bike, might be like, oh, I don't want to run the risk, I need to book it into a service centre, which is going to take a couple of days and then delay my trip. And they'll go, oh yeah, it was all fine, it was nothing to worry about. Then you just get pissed off, wouldn't you, as a customer? So I think BMW, it's not just a little complaint, BMW should take heed of that. Thanks guys. Because I think that could grow into something that does put customers off. Oh, here you go, look. Tyre pressures do not match set point. Stop immediately, check tyre pressure. I mean, maybe there is a puncture. Rear tyre pressure not at set point. Trip computer. Tyre pressure. I mean, 2.2 bar. That's still... What's that in PSI? That's not enough to be freaking out this much, right? 2.2 bar? Well, let's have a little visual proddy first. I mean, yeah, you can see it moving a little bit, but it's certainly inflated. Let's turn it off. We can actually display the tyre pressures up here, I think, after you go through all the... I mean, what is that? Coffee, 9,000 hours. There you go, 1.8, 2.2. I mean, I think that's... I don't know what it is, but it doesn't sound way off. And I don't want this to be a negative thing, because it's such a stupid small thing, which detracts from the splendour of what is a amazing motorcycle. And I think even if I had the option of a Multistrada and this for a year, I love the Multistrada, but I honestly don't know what is a more... The reason I would want this bike is to do the jobs that other bikes cannot do, whereas the Multistrada is absolutely phenomenal. Let's not deny it, but it is so sport focused. It's basically a massively comfortable sports bike, which many people want. But this is an unstoppable, apart from tyre pressures, an unstoppable force, and gets you there. And it's not. The intensity, it's good to not be intense, because you can don't get me wrong, you can ride this intensely, and you know, you could smash this round a track and absolutely embarrass many people on sports bikes if you're a competent rider. So don't think that this is not a fast bike. It absolutely is, and it is exciting, but I don't necessarily buy this for the excitement of the vehicle itself. I would buy this to enable me to go places and do exciting things. Danke. I'm just going to take it easy, just in case we have a puncture. I'll check it with a manual gauge when we get there, but I reckon it probably is a few PSI under what it should be, and I think I felt that when I first got on it, but I don't think it warrants quite such a panic, and then not to be panicking at all. So positives: exceedingly comfortable, hugely characterful and versatile engine. And this is fast. It's not a slow bike, this is fast. Trust me, it's fast, and particularly in terrain like this. You know, I know we're going a bit slow today, but I would know this is way faster around stuff like this than any superbike ever would be. So engine, great. The Adventure obviously has the 30-litre tank, great. Wind protection, wind protection is okay, actually. I mean, it's great all for the rest of the body. It's just this extra inch really helps me at 6'4". This is in low position, so you can hopefully see a bit better. You probably can't see anything, just this fucking thing, but it certainly makes it just a little more comfortable for me. It's just, otherwise it grazes the top of my helmet and becomes a bit annoying. But other than that, wind and weather protection is excellent. Heated grips, obviously, fantastic. Heated seat you can get in this, which is a bit annoying to turn off and on again. Technology. The heated grips, if you've just got that option, you just click through heated 1, 2, off, on, blah, blah, blah. If you've got the seat option, you have to go into the menu to adjust the level of the heating, both for the grips and the seat. Oh, and also cancelling indicators. That is just... it's the most stupid idea. But all of those things considered, today, in this weather... I mean, this weather's quite nice, but this seasonal time, I really can't think of a better bike to be on. I can't. It is the evolution. It's a bit like a 911, this bike. You know, with these, the engine configuration shouldn't work, but after 40 years, oh, tyre pressure again. After 40 years of development, this engine just gets better and better, and the evolution continues. So, and I think that the day they lose this engine configuration is a step too far. This bike, it needs this engine. It's synonymous. It's hand in hand. I'm actually going to go to Barnstormer right now on camera and see what the pressures should be. But yeah, everything else, I mean, as for modes, I've just been in Dynamic Pro pretty much the whole time. I did try Eco once in the fuel crisis when I was really trying to save fuel, but it doesn't really make much difference. It just makes it really slow, as in slow at accelerating. And yeah, you might save a pipette's worth over 30 miles, but just, you know, you can control, you know how fast you're going with this. It's called a throttle grip. And yeah, I mean, what can I say? You guys know that I love this bike. I love this generation. Is it the best generation of bike? I mean, it does, yeah, I'd probably say it is still better than the rest that have come before it, the 1200, etc. But they just need to be careful. Please, BMW, be careful. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it with over stupid stuff. Fucking indicator. Honestly, I think I'm going to snap this thing off. If I had this for a bike for a year, this indicator swizzle stick would definitely snap. I will also mention at night time the auto turning headlight is amazing. Sorry, it's very amazing. It's very amazing left and right. Up and down is it takes a while to get used to, but the left and right is exceptionally good. Right, let's get some air in this. Bloody hell, there's some bikes out here. Hello, my friends. Obviously, centre stand is always useful. Right, I shall feed back. I take it back. It's supposed to be 2.9 and it was running at 2.2, so boink. So fair enough, I guess it was just trying to protect me. I think it's just it goes with the modern age, doesn't it? Just everyone's a bit overprotective. So yeah, it's supposed to be 2.9 in the rear and 2.5 in the front. Actually, this feels a lot better now, so I withdraw my complaint. Although it did overreact a little bit. It wasn't like a matter of life and death. It was just a bit squishy. And now it does feel a lot better. I haven't had a long-term experience on any of the other competition bikes as of yet, so that will be... Oh, fuck me! God! It's alright, I missed him. Fucking hell. What a silly little blackbird. God. I'm glad I didn't knock her over. Him, actually. It was a male. Where was I? Whoa! Fucking hell! Fuck me! What the fuck's going on? Almost hit another bird. So yeah, I'm sad to see the old girl go. The old girl, the fantastic girl go. And I'm even more sad that I didn't exploit her enough this year. I think I've only done about 3,000 miles. Someone's smoking a doobie. And 3,000 miles on a GS just isn't enough. I long for the day on this bike that I can just pack up a couple of weekends worth of pants into the cavernous panniers and disappear around Europe, which is exactly what this bike should be used for. Anyway, enough of that. See you on the flip side. Is that what cool people say? I don't think it is at all, is it? It's what groovy dads say at a wedding. So, what is actually quite a sad farewell to this, because it has seen me through some very dark and difficult times. This year, I think for everyone, has been a dark and difficult time. And this is your friend, this bike. This is your friend. and you can rely on it. Right, let's give her a wash then and get her ready. Get her ready for home time. Thank you, Mr. Bikey. Thank you for watching, gentlemen and lady. I'll see you on the other side.